I found out I wasn't invited to my own sister's wedding by accident. Not from her, not from my parents, but from a seating chart someone posted online. My name wasn't there, and in that quiet moment, staring at my phone, I realized something had been breaking between us for a long time. I just hadn't wanted to see it. My sister and I grew up close. At least, that's what I always believed. She was older by 3 years, the confident one, the loud laugh, the girl everyone noticed when she walked into a room. I was the quieter one, the helper, the one who smoothed things over when she got upset. We shared a room, secrets, clothes, and late-night talks about life. I used to think that meant we would always be on the same side. When she got engaged, I was genuinely happy for her. I screamed when she showed me the ring. I hugged her so tight she laughed and told me to breathe. I asked 1,000 questions. When's the date? Where's the venue? What colors are you thinking? I assumed I'd be part of it somehow. Not because I needed a title, just because I was her sister. At first, everything felt normal. She asked my opinion on dresses. She sent me photos of flowers. We talked about food. I offered help. I meant it. I even took days off work to go with her to appointments. I paid for gas. I bought her coffee. I never kept track. I didn't need credit. I just wanted her to feel supported. Then small things started to shift. She stopped replying as fast. Days would pass. Then a week. When I asked about plans, she'd say, "Oh, I already decided that," or "Mom's handling it." Sometimes she'd smile and say, "You don't need to worry about this stuff." It stung, but I told myself she was stressed. Weddings do that to people. I didn't want to be another problem. The first real crack came when she chose her bridesmaids. She called me late one night. Her voice sounded careful. Too careful. She said my name the way people do when they're about to disappoint you. "I just wanted to tell you before you heard it from someone else," she said. I finalized the bridal party. I waited. My heart was already racing. "I went with my friends," she continued. "You know, the girls I'm really close to right now. I hope you understand. I didn't speak right away. There was a buzzing in my ears. "So I'm not a bridesmaid," I finally said. "It doesn't mean anything," she rushed to say. "I just wanted to keep things simple. I said it was okay. I said I understood. I even laughed a little, like it didn't hurt." After we hung up, I sat on my bed and stared at the wall. I told myself roles didn't matter. I told myself I was being sensitive. But something heavy settled in my chest that night. After that, I was slowly pushed further out. Dress fittings happened without me. Planning dinners happened without me. When family talked about the wedding, I often felt like I was hearing about it for the first time. I'd ask questions and get short answers. Sometimes she'd look annoyed, like I was interrupting something important. I tried to talk to her once. I said gently, "I feel a little left out." She sighed, not angry, just tired. "I don't have the energy for this," she said. "This wedding is already overwhelming." So I swallowed my feelings again. The closer the wedding got, the more invisible I felt. And still, I told myself it would all be fine on the day. I'd show up, I'd smile, I'd support her. That's what sisters do. Then, 3 weeks before the wedding, I saw the seating chart. A cousin had shared a photo from a group chat. It was posted on a board with little cards and names. Tables were labeled. Couples were paired. Friends were grouped together. I zoomed in. I scanned every table once, then again, then slower. My name wasn't there. I felt cold all over, like the air had been pulled out of the room. I checked again, thinking maybe I missed it. I hadn't. I wasn't just not in the wedding party. I wasn't invited at all. I sat there for a long time. My phone felt heavy in my hand. I could hear my own breathing, in and out, slow, shaky. I didn't cry right away. I think I was in shock. I called my mom. She sounded confused. "Of course you're invited," she said. "You're her sister." I told her what I saw. There was a pause on the line, a long one. "I'll talk to her," my mom said quietly. That night my sister called me. She didn't sound angry. She sounded defensive. "I didn't think you'd want to come," she said. That sentence broke something in me. "What do you mean?" I asked. "Well," she said, "you've seemed distant, and I didn't want any awkward energy. I just wanted the day to feel light." I waited for her to say more, for an apology, for anything that sounded like she cared how this felt. She didn't. "So you just decided for me," I said. "I didn't think it was a big deal," she replied. "We're family, you'll understand." I didn't understand. Not anymore. After we hung up, I cried harder than I had in years. Not loud sobs, quiet ones. The kind that come from deep inside your chest. The kind where you realize you've been making excuses for someone who hasn't been making space for you. I thought about every time I showed up. Every time I put my feelings aside. Every time I told myself it didn't matter. It mattered. The next day, my mom called again. She said my sister felt bad now. She said there had been a misunderstanding. She said I could come if I wanted to. If I wanted to. That's when something in me shifted. I realized I didn't want a last-minute invite. I didn't want to sit at a table out of obligation. I didn't want to pretend everything was fine so everyone else could feel comfortable. For the first time I asked myself a hard question. Why was I always the one bending? I told my mom I wasn't going. She was quiet. Then she said, "Are you sure?" "Yes," I said. And for once my voice didn't shake. I sent my sister a short message. I told her I loved her. I told her I hoped her day was beautiful. And I told her I wouldn't be attending. She didn't reply. The wedding day came. I woke up early out of habit. My phone was silent. No messages, no calls. I made coffee and sat by the window. I imagined what was happening. The hair, the makeup, the music. I wondered if she noticed my absence. Around noon, my aunt called. Her voice was tense. "Things are not going great," she said. Apparently one bridesmaid had dropped out the night before. Another was fighting with the maid of honor. The seating chart caused drama. Someone showed up uninvited. Someone else didn't show at all. My sister was crying. The timeline was falling apart. As I listened, I felt something unexpected. Peace. Not happiness, not revenge, just calm. I realized I wasn't responsible for fixing this. For once, I wasn't inside the chaos. I was outside of it, breathing, safe. Later, I heard more. The ceremony was delayed. The reception was awkward. People noticed the tension. My sister was overwhelmed. The perfect day she wanted slipped through her fingers. That night, she texted me. "I wish you were here," she wrote. I stared at the message for a long time. I typed. I deleted. I typed again. Finally, I wrote, "I wish you wanted me there from the beginning." She didn't respond. Weeks passed, then months. We spoke, but not like before. Something had changed. Not just between us, inside me. I stopped chasing closeness that wasn't being returned. I stopped over-explaining. I stopped shrinking myself to keep the peace. One afternoon she came over. We sat at the kitchen table. There was a long silence. "I didn't realize how much I hurt you," she said finally. Her voice was softer, older. "I tried to tell you," I replied, "but you didn't want to hear it then." She nodded. "No excuses this time. We didn't fix everything that day, but we started telling the truth, and that mattered more than pretending." Walking away from her wedding wasn't easy. It wasn't dramatic. It was quiet, painful, necessary. Sometimes love looks like showing up, and sometimes it looks like stepping back. I learned that being family doesn't mean accepting being invisible. It doesn't mean staying silent to avoid discomfort. And it doesn't mean sacrificing your self-worth for someone else's comfort. You can love people deeply and still choose yourself. That was the hardest lesson, and the most freeing one I've ever learned.